Hi. So I found out about bullet journaling probably a month and a half ago, and I became really interested in it. So, I thought I would really want to try it, but I wasn't so sure about buying a journal and getting right into it right away because I'm sure many of us can relate to the fact that we have 100 or more, well, maybe 5 journals that we've started and written in, but just haven't kept with it. So, I wasn't sure if bullet journaling was going to be like that for me or if I was going to commit to it. So I thought I would just create my own little trial bullet journal to see if I really liked it and if it was something I was really going to commit to and if it actually helped. So I got a bunch of paper and I folded it in half right along here. And then just to kind of hold everything together, I just used a bit of string. I didn't weave it or anything, I just lined it in here and tied it at the back. So yeah. So this is the bullet journal. So in this video, I'm going to just give you a bit of a flip through of my trial bullet journal, some of the things that I had in it, some things I will transfer over to my future bullet journal, and some things that I probably won't. So first of all, I did this for the month of April. So right here is my April monthly calendar. I chose this because I felt that it was the most simple looking. I didn't do, like the bullet journal says, you're supposed to list all the days of the month and put the tasks beside them. But I felt like this was more just cohesive for what I like to see in a journal. So yeah, it just kind of helped me organize my month a little bit better. Just kind of see everything at once. But yeah, I think I'll probably keep this as the layout for my monthly schedule in the future. But as for the next page, I think beside the month, I would like to put my future goals and tasks for the month kind of right here instead of doing a memories page. So that brings me to the next thing, which is a memories page. And this is something that I'm not sure about keeping in the future bullet journal. Throughout the month, I just kind of, highlighted important things that happen, so events and like things like this, like I wrote my last exam for university and, we held a surprise party for one of my really good friends. So that kind of thing, I try and, I guess, document and draw a little picture for whatever the memory might be. But I felt very I don't know, I felt a bit like I wasn't feeling as artistic as I could have with this. It felt a bit just forced in a way, if you know what I mean. Oh, I have to draw something for this memory instead of just remembering it or writing it down or something, which of course I did write down, but I felt the drawings just might not be for me. But it is cool, I might bring it back eventually. But for the next bullet journal or for my future bullet journal, I don't think I will include this. So, actually, you know what, I'm going to flip back and start at the very beginning. So, I just kind of drew this on, just tried to keep it as simple as I could, and then I flipped into the legend. So, I tried to keep it similar to the actual bullet journal. I think they call it, it's a legend, a key. The actual bullet journal key. So yeah, I have things like a task, events, appointments, priority and important things. I've been using a question mark quite often actually, and a note. So the difference between a task and a note for me is a task is something that I'm actually going to do throughout the day, and a note might be just something that happened or something I need to keep in mind or just something like that. Deadline, that I guess icon was very useful while I was in university this past month with all of my finals and papers, so that was important. And I like the mail one. I haven't used it that much, but I feel like it's one of the ones that are just handy to have. So the last 3 here are just in relation to the task at the top. So if I'm in the middle of a task or if I've started it, I'll just put a line through, so just a line through the box. If it is completed, I will color in the box. And if I've moved it to the next day, I'll just put an arrow. Yeah, so that is my legend. So we've gone through this. Now, the next thing I just did was start with Monday, the first Monday of the month, which was Monday, April 3rd. At the beginning, I wasn't too in-depth. Like, you can see I only have like 2 tasks here and 1 thing going on here. Very, very sparse, and I think you'll see how at the end of the month I'm using it way more. So I think that's a good sign as to why I'm going to continue to use the bullet journal. But yeah, this was just pretty much a typical like school week for me. Like, you know, I didn't put in any of my classes that I was going to, just because at this point my schedule was already very well ingrained into me. So I just put extra things, like I had a presentation on Tuesday the 4th at 9 o'clock, and I had an exam there, just little things. Like on the weekend here, this was a big, exciting weekend because it was, I was hosting a surprise party for a friend of mine, so I had a lot of things to kind of do these few days. But yeah, that kind of is a weekly schedule. It just kind of stays like that all the way through the month. And this is the end of the month, so you can see how I really started to use it a lot more. I started using check marks for just like things that weren't tasks that I had completed or thought about. Yeah, here I moved washing the shower to the next day. Yeah, so this is kind of just a weekly spread for me. I did like the way this worked, just splitting Saturday and Sunday in one line. I think that was okay. I might maybe adjust that in the future. I'm just not sure what I will do yet. But yeah, that's kind of my week. And here I just have kind of what I guess technically would be a future log, or like a goals log. So like my personal goals, social goals, video ideas, and blog post ideas. And I think, of course, in the future I will put this at the beginning of the month, kind of like here. Maybe it'll take 2 pages, I'm not sure, but you know, I like this. I felt like I kind of added this in just at the end because I had room for it. Just, yeah, things that I need to keep in mind throughout the month. And so when I start my real bullet journal, I'm going to put like something like this at the beginning of every month, but I'm also going to have a full yearly page at the very beginning, maybe a few pages towards, like dedicated towards the whole year. And I can put like yearly goals, like, yeah, just kind of that kind of thing. Like, I think that would be good to just get my frame of mind in the right place and just something that I can check in on. And also I've noticed that it's very popular to have like an index, and that is actually part of the bullet journal system. So I think I will definitely add that in, maybe like the page after the legend, kind of, you know, number my pages, you know, and then have an index at the front. I just didn't do that here because this is, you know, a trial little homemade bullet journal. But yeah, that's kind of it. It's May now, so I've kind of just started a small little May section before I transition into the full bullet journal, because honestly I love the system so much that I can't go without it. I didn't have really anything going. I didn't write this down until Tuesday. So for Monday, I didn't have the system and I felt lost. I honestly, like, I was just so used to being so organized, like I was kind of here. Everything was so planned out. So by like the end, or well, I guess, yeah, the end of the month, the beginning of May, I just felt lost without it. So I just have this little bit here, which I will transition into my new journal. But yeah, that is it for my bullet journal. I guess I could mention I use this pen, Staedtler pigment liner, and I use the 0.1, but I have like I think a 0.5, maybe a 0.3 as well, I'm not sure, but I just like the finer tip of this pen. But yeah, that is it. Thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoy my little trial setup. And maybe it'll inspire you to start your own bullet journal. I think it's a really helpful way to stay organized. And yeah, thanks so much.